Because this movie, our feature film, this isn't just an exploration of art. This is an exploration of the two souls of the men you see before you.
Alright, this movie came out 20 years before I was born.
Yes, but not as soon as I met you. I would say as soon as we became friends. You said, you know how I see our relationship? I see us a lot like the two leads of the 1988 film Cocktail.
I was wrong about that.
Which is what we're going to be talking about
I want to
today.
rewatch those guys. Suck.
They are both so evil. They are both. I thought I was going to save this, but since he took. Yeah, they're both terrible, villainous, awful people.
I'm glad that you were like, this movie is what I am, and then you were like, these guys are the fucking devil.
Well, I still think the fact this movie hit closer to home than I was expecting it to, even though we're both different in significant ways.
Okay, so do you want to do a synopsis of the movie, or do you want to just do your little?
Let's
your
do a
take on
quick
it first?
recap of the film Cocktail from 1988, starring Tom Cruise and Brian Brown, I think, an Australian man.
Okay, so Steve, how do you think the movie starts? A movie about cocktails and bars and the beach. How do you think it starts?
Surely it starts with a cocktail on the beach, Adrian.
No, Steven. It starts with the army pulling over a random Greyhound bus.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, what? The army's allowed to just pull people over?
They're not even part of the army. They're just guys in uniform. Like, he clearly just got out of the army, and they stole that siren, I guess, because they were impersonating the police officers.
Does the army have police?
Well,
sure,
they have
like the
military
A-team.
police.
Remember the A-team?
The A-team weren't police. They were
No, but they were always
They're
chased
who you
down by the
call-
police.
Yeah, okay. The MPs.
Yeah, that's right.
But we're not talking about the
Can
A-team.
you imagine being a criminal on that bus?
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
like there's a lot of criminals on the bus. Imagine, oh my god! Imagine you're planning to decapitate 10 people on the Greyhound,
Let's say the dude
and then
beside
randomly
you
the fucking
is
cops pull
just
up.
starting to nod off, and you're like, my time has come. And then there comes Tom Cruise with a siren on the dash.
And the first
four
thing
army
he does
buddies.
upon entering the bus is just pick up some random lady's
Just
kid.
Picks up a baby.
He's like, look at the city, kid.
Yep.
This is our city now.
I bet that he bonded with the child.
Okay, but if you listen during that scene, you can hear the kid's dad go, hey, that's my kid.
If a bright-eyed young man sat down beside you and was very friendly to your kid, like Adrian is a bright-eyed young man, is he not, audience? If Adrian sat down beside you, and he doesn't go right into picking up your kid, he chats, well, maybe gives your kid some gum.
Maybe
He
don't say
establishes
picking up your
some
kid.
rapport. You'd let Adrian pick up your kid. Adrian's picked up a lot of kids.
You'll hand me your kid. I won't pick them up off the ground.
You'll like Adrian so much you'll practically give him your kid.
Good. Okay, so then what does he do first upon entering the city? He goes to his uncle's bar.
Goes to his uncle's bar. His uncle, another piece of shit.
His uncle's like the only guy he doesn't buy anyone beer ever.
Yeah.
And you go, come on.
Everyone in this movie is terrible, even the nice people.
His advice is so good too. He's like, trust nobody, love only yourself.
Yes. And he seems like a nice guy. Like, he's got this real avuncular vibe, and immediately is like, my life advice is to never give anyone anything. And then he points to his oldest friend right there and is like, remember the time you asked me for something? I took a bat to you. That's literally what happens in the movie.
His friend's so beaten too. He's like, yeah, he took a bat to me.
Yeah, his friend is an
Whoa.
old, drunken, abused, exploited wino.
Yeah, the cool thing about that is he does make his uncle buy him a beer.
No, his uncle didn't let him.
No. Because his uncle didn't let him get a free beer, but he said something, and his uncle gave him $20, and then he used that $20 to pay for the beer.
Oh, okay, that's
Which is cool, but also it is funny how the guys were like, trust nobody, die alone, and then also they're like, you're gonna end up married one day. It just fucking happens to you.
Yeah, they definitely describe marriage. Not terrible. They're not big love and I don't think these are dudes who are putting today I'm marrying my best friend in their wedding vows. But they made it seem like, you can roll with it. It's just something that happens. You have some kids, and that's just part of life. So he goes to town, he goes to his uncle, and then his uncle tells him to get a job. And he thinks the important thing, this whole movie, the theme of the movie is how to get rich. And Tom Cruise thinks he's going to get rich by hustling. So he goes out there and takes a bunch of interviews for jobs he has no qualifications for. And the movie seems to treat it not like, why would you think you could just get a job? He seems to be like, isn't the world unjust? I can't just get a good job based on my nice smile. Can you believe this?
He's like, I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
I'm a good boy with a nice smile.
I'm willing to start at the bottom, and then one of the interviewers says, aim lower. That was one of the better lines.
That really reminded me of going to interviews after graduation, and you go, "Oh, I'm nobody's son. This isn't gonna fly."
I'm doing a career day presentation at a local high school tomorrow, and one of my biggest pieces of advice is know people, which isn't. It sounds like bad advice because you can't just be someone's son, but if you deliberately make connections,
you just have to know people.
How did I get on this podcast?
This is your podcast.
But
I came here to you.
But we know each other.
That's true. Okay, so
Adriaan also knows me. Knowing goes both ways.
It is weird that the like Wall Street people were like, you need a bachelor's degree. It's like, brother, you need a master's degree at minimum.
It is,
or you need to be really, really good at selling cocaine.
It is.
Like you need to be the coke guy for the whole building.
Isn't the whole thing that cocaine sells itself?
You think that?
Don't you just have to have the cocaine?
Well, yeah, you gotta be the guy who brings it to work, essentially.
But
that guy can still get caught.
You're not giving people no money down, 0% financing on a bag of cocaine. They come to you.
I mean, these are the best salesmen in the world. You don't think they're cracking deals on coke?
I think no. That's why they want it. You're more of a supplier than a salesman.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
again, all you got to do is be the guy with the cocaine.
You still have to know the people. They could be getting it from anybody. Why would they go to you?
That's actually a very good point. So after this, he decides, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to school. But I'm not going to sign up for school. The only thing you have to do to get a degree, to sign up for school, he says, I'm just going to take the classes and take the information from school. Yes. And that'll be enough. Mm-hmm. And boy, is he the worst fucking student.
Yes. Because he's working, though. He works at nights. It starts off kind of bad, I guess.
It starts off horrible. He's talking shit to the teacher in class.
Also, his teachers are also evil. They are so mean. The one guy is dunking on this woman who's a middle-aged woman who's taking an intro to business class because she wants to start selling her cookies. And I think the professor's line to her was like, after burning your husband's dinner for your whole life, now you're burning your career opportunities with this C- level paper. She's just a nice lady trying to learn something.
Yeah, and C- is still a pass.
He was evil.
Yeah, he made them write their own obituary. That was the first lesson.
Oh, that was a different prof. That guy was kind of nice. Not nice, but he at least made them contemplate mortality. That's
okay. Fair enough. A little bit of yeah. And then we meet the villain of the story.
Actually, first we should get into that when the main character, played by Tom Cruise, whose name is Flanagan, Brian Flanagan, classic Tom Cruise name. He writes his own obituary, and the first line, it's the project yourself into death, not if you died today. And what does Tom Cruise, the hero, the likable hero of the film, says? 99 years old, Brian Flanagan dies a multimillionaire. He passed betting his, I think it was 17-year-old fifth wife, who was being treated for exhaustion at a local hospital. This is the good guy. This is the guy that we're like, we're on board with this dude because he has a nice smile. What does he stand for? Hey, a little bit of age. We're no Puritans on this podcast. We're not here to police your relationships. 99 years old, putting his teenage fifth wife into the hospital with an all-night sex session.
I mean, listen, man, you don't want to die like that?
Listen, I'll tell you what.
I guess not the same.
In the all-black female reboot, Cardi B says that she's gonna fuck a teenager into the grave. I think people will be okay with it.
Right?
People will say Cardi B.
Dude, if Helen Mirren came out right now and she was like, this is my 18-year-old boyfriend, you'd be like, go get it.
Listen, I'll tell you what, if Helen Mirren could put a phone call in right now and the podcast is on pause, I'll see you in a little bit.
You're going for a swim?
This is some fact-checking quote, and ChatGPT says
That says which?
It says it violates the terms if it says what he said.
Oh man, that's funny. Our producer just tried to look it up on ChatGPT, and apparently the answer violates the terms.
I'm just gonna give a quick slice of life. You can cut this out if you want. When I was on dating apps, my conversation, they have a question that you use to spark a conversation.
Yeah.
Who's the oldest person you would realistically want to make out with?
That's That is such a you question.
It's important to know.
I don't know if you guys
all
know
the time-
this. Steven is 75
Don't worry about
years
how old I am or am not, but all the time, women will be like, "Oh, Patrick Stewart is so handsome," and he is so handsome. But what do you mean by that? Would you make out with him? That's what I want to know.
Patrick Stewart?
Yeah,
Bro, I'd let him in.
he's looking pretty aged these days. He kept it for a long time.
I'd ride him to the grave.
You know who I think is the handsomest old man possibly in history? Taking a good look at Pierce Brosnan lately. Pierce Brosnan looks better now than he did as James Bond.
Pierce Brosnan? No way.
He might be the best aging male I've ever seen. My votes, they'd always obviously say, what about you? You know, there's a few different attractive older ladies. Helen Mirren is a classic. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, for sure. She's up there.
The lady from
Seinfeld.
Okay. You know she's like a billionaire?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, her family is the Dreyfus from The Dreyfus Affair.
Oh my god.
Which was mostly bad, actually. But she goes back to 19th century France. Also, I'm not 100% sure that's correct.
Well,
It sounds.
okay,
It's probably right.
just lay. Please God, just lay.
Anyway, if you are listening to this, write in with who the oldest person that you'd want to make out with. Not who you would call sexy and sort of mean it in some abstract sense. I mean, really, you would like to make out with them. And don't say me. Actually, it's fine if you say me. But aim higher.
You're a rat.
Okay.
Okay. He threw a treat right at my crotch. We're talking about crazy on me.
Alright, every time I start rambling too much, that's how Drew's going to let me know. You throw dog treats at Adriaan.
Oh my god. Can you please be chill? You are ruining the shot.
Okay.
Can you go over there?
Well,
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna intro our next guy.
Yeah.
Because if you were gonna introduce the coolest guy in the movie about being the coolest guy,
Yeah, this is
how
a
would you
movie about
introduce him?
coolness.
Would he be seducing a beautiful lady? Would he
Possibly.
be telling a funny joke?
Sure, maybe.
Or would he be cracking an egg into a drink and then slamming it like it's a totally normal and cool thing to
What
do?
does he put in it to make it pink as well?
I think it's
Is it
like
Tabasco?
a clamato or something.
Yeah, it's probably Clamato.
But it looks putrid. What's
Yeah.
it called, a red eye?
It's called a red eye.
You ever had one of them?
I have not, but I do know that some people will crack eggs into both beer or whiskey if you're having it for breakfast. That is a way that some people will.
But he did it after his shift.
I think he just woke up.
Oh my
Because
god.
later on in the movie, he said beers for breakfast. We drink whiskey at night.
Mmm.
I think he just woke up at around 4 o'clock. I'm guessing maybe 5. And by the way, you're like, well, is it at least a really cool bar? It's a TGI Fridays.
It's just like a regular ass dive bar.
Now, granted, this is before I think TGI Fridays was as established, but I think it literally is a TGI Fridays, isn't it? Because the waitresses are all wearing the striped shirts.
Oh yeah, it actually is. 100%.
It's definitely never gonna work in real life. I think we are recording now for real in the mics, which is fun. So if you guys hear a significant upgrade in the audio quality, my bad.
Okay, should we go right back to the beginning?
No, we have the recording on the camera, so
Oh, okay.
we can
okay.
mostly just
Gotcha.
go back to
Oh, okay, cool.
cracking an egg into a drink is crazy.
Okay, yeah,
If
so
you did that the first day we met, I would never think of you as highly as I could.
I think
There's
that
no
I
way
disagree.
to
I
maximize.
think that you would exactly what happened to Tom Cruise is what would happen there, as you would be like, oh, that is what cool is.
That is not what
This
cool-
guy-
I feel like there's no.
No,
feel
I
like-
agree that that's not what cool is, but I'm saying if you saw me do it, you would think that's what cool is.
Oh, I think you're such a cool guy. Oh,
Listen,
Steve,
you
you're
might be used to
75
it
years
now.
old,
You might
still
be
got
used to it
hair.
now, but when we first met, oh, I saw the glow in your eyes. I think I could have got you to drink an egg and a beer and Tabasco sauce or Clamato, whatever. I think I could have got you thinking that red eyes were the way to
listen, probably. I'm a very naive and gullible person.
go. So am I.
One time, you know Mo Aiden, famous comedian Mo Aiden.
Yep.
We were hanging out, and he
Friend
made
of
me
the
do a
pod.
shot of hot sauce
Yeah.
with a little bit of lemon on it.
Why did
I
you do that?
don't know.
You know, that actually makes sense to me. 'Cause
I thought it was a prank, but then he did it with me, and he did like 4 of them, and then he puked clean across the bar,
ah,
and it looked like blood. It looked like he was puking blood.
so there was no booze, just hot sauce and
Just
lemon.
hot sauce and lemon.
I'd buy it. Young men love showing how much they can endure. It's
Yeah,
not about enjoying life. It's about enduring the most
that's exactly
or
right.
whatever. I once had an idea when you're doing shots, I was like, let's shoot gasoline.
Yes.
And that got vetoed, which is probably for the best. But we still...
Yeah. I mean, that sounds fun, though. Like, when you said it, I was like, we could pause the podcast.
and do a shot of gasoline.
Do a shot of gasolina, man. What's up? Nothing happens in this world. Are we stopped again? I swear to Christ. No, we're still going. Okay, cool. Oh, all right,
so...
Oh, yeah, one more thing. That guy is supposed to be the king of cool, and then he's introduced... First thing he says is a law that he names after his fucking self. Like, whoever wrote this movie
Negative
was not a
humanism.
cool person. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know what actual cool people sound like or do.
Yeah.
Not that I do it anyway, but I like...
You know what it isn't.
Yeah, I know what it isn't.
If an older Australian man started talking about laws to live by, and they were all abject nonsense, and he named them after himself, how long would you tolerate that?
Yeah, I'd be like, how are you the bartender? You know what I mean? I'd be like, you're the drunk guy.
See, in a weird way, actually, that's something that the movie nails, is sometimes you meet a guy, and you're like, this is the coolest dude I have ever met. And then a couple years of perspective, and you're like, oh no, he is an incredible loser. He is a man in his mid-40s bartending, which I know a lot of cool guys that are in their mid-40s bartending, but they're not talking about Coughlin's laws and inventing drinks involving raw egg.
Sexually harassing every single customer that comes in.
And also his best friend. Like, oh yeah, everything about this guy is dark and malevolent and evil.
Yeah, just a bad fucking dude.
Really, I think we should move through the film a little bit faster so we can start breaking down the malevolence at the heart of this picture and how it relates to us as people.
I'll just go with you with my notes for what I have. So,
Okay.
Coughlin's Law, lame.
Oh wait, they don't even know who Coughlin is yet,
Coughlin's
officially.
the Australian guy who's
Tom?
the bartender that gives Tom Cruise his first job.
It's going to be the other main character of the film. Tom Cruise gets immediately taken under the wing of an older Australian man who is a bartender.
In many ways, he's the Stephen Darnell of the story.
We're going to be talking about this. Put a pin in that comment because we're coming back around.
Okay, so Tom Cruise wins the waitresses over by doing this weird fucking hand trick where they all put their hand on his hand and then he does this. It means nothing, and then they know it means nothing.
Yes.
And also, one more thing. The dumbass Australian guy is like, the boss likes it if you take a while to pour the drinks.
Oh, yeah.
That is the stupidest guy. How is that bar still open?
There are large parts of this movie that were either, I'm going to guess, never realistic, or at least certainly don't apply to bars anymore. As this, again, 1988 cocktail. This is just not what bars are like. Like, nobody is getting served in this bar. They're taking forever to do anything. And the whole reason why they get into flailing, which, skip ahead a little bit, this is the movie that made flailing famous. If you've ever seen somebody try to spin a bottle and pour it and juggle a bottle and just do bottle tricks as they make a cocktail, this is where that comes from. The whole thing that Coughlin gets into is he's like, we're trying to cheat customers and we can't just give them a Jack and Coke that's all Coke. We need to distract them with our razzmatazz. But that doesn't, so then the boss will be happy because we've actually charged for more alcohol than we sold. That goes away if you spill alcohol over the bar as you're juggling these bottles.
Yeah.
Like, they're just whipping alcohol all over the place. It's getting everywhere.
It would make me so mad if I saw, like, if you're going on a date with a girl and you're like, hey, this bar has a pretty crazy reputation, gonna be fun.
Yeah.
You go there, they take 5 hours to serve you, they're hitting on your girlfriend the entire time.
I did think this is
And then
what
the beer
bars were
doesn't
like
have
when
any
I was a
fucking
kid.
tequila. Well, the bars when you were a kid were they just sneak in the back of an alley.
Listen, I wasn't in the bars. I grew up a nice boy.
30s, wasn't it?
But I thought we were good at. I thought every bar was going to have juggling. Listen, we're going to get a Great Depression in your face if you keep this up.
Yeah, you're right. This is the most 40s way to threaten to punch someone.
I'm gonna.
Why I oughta.
I just watched a Popeye cartoon last night. It was on Movie. Anyway,
Popeye's a G, man.
I'm gonna play with this dog while we talk.
Okay, so he wins the waitresses over, whatever. They do such a good job wasting fucking time that they get hired at a bigger bar.
They get recruited at the hottest nightclub in New York City.
By the way,
possibly
the cell block.
Okay, first of all, it continues to not make any sense. They're killing it at a TGI Fridays by juggling and not serving people the drinks they ordered. And some dude, and the whole time you can see this guy because it's a hip bar and it's really happening. And there's a chubby, bald man in a shambly suit, and you're like, those dudes don't typically hang out at happening places. But for some reason, this guy's there.
He owns it.
And it turns out, no, he owns a different bar. You know how guys who own the hottest night spot in town are always going to TGI Fridays instead to get soused?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe his daughter works there or something.
Could be anyway. So they get recruited to the cell block.
The worst fucking setup for a venue I have ever seen in my life.
It's terrible. The stage is the bar.
Yeah, the stage is like the actual rock stage is like hidden behind the thing, and then the bar is in the center. And also, if I was, not that I'm a great performer, but if I was performing and the bar staff was in the room doing bottle tricks, I would throw the fucking mic stand at them, dude.
Yeah.
I would kill.
No, the bartenders are the performers. However, this did make me think that you and I could be great bartenders if we decided to give up on our respectable careers. When they're getting everyone to chant and they're tossing stuff back and forth and they're running games and doing tricks and just being
fun.
band leaders.
That's not what bartending is.
No, that's not what real bartending is at all.
We just be yelling, I need the fucking vodka.
When they're
like, we're out of fucking vodka.
When they're turning Addicted to Love up and down to try and get people to sing along to it.
Yeah.
That part seemed basically what we do at the Grindstone.
I mean, yeah, that part we can do, but one night a week. I can't do that every night. I don't have the energy.
Well, no kidding. You're already too old to be. You're too old for the one part and too young for the other part. But we'll get into that.
Bro.
To me, the most realistic part of the movie is how Coughlin looks exhausted the whole time. Like, this is about Tom Cruise getting chewed up and spit out by the industry, but his mentor is spit out the whole time. Like, he shows up and you can already Coughlin, this is, again, parts of this movie are realistic, as the old bar star who you think is cool is exhausted from minute one, and he has this look in his face like he's over it and just doesn't know what else to do. So he needs a red eye to start his day at 5 p.m., which is a beer with an egg in it. Ugh. And at every phase of life, he looks like he's wise, but not in a fun way. And he's going through the motions because he doesn't know what else to do with himself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and there's another thing.
Once again, this is the guy that Adriaan said reminded me.
I like to riff. Little fun fact about me. I like to be mean as a riff to show you I love you.
Well, we're again, put more pins in this because we're going to come back to it.
Considering off the worst bar experience I think I would ever have at the cell block. 3 levels, 1 bar.
Yep.
3 levels, 1 bar. No one's getting served. The band is pissed because everyone's staring at the bar and not the band.
Because they keep juggling.
This random
you know
fucking
how
dweeb.
People love jugglers.
This random fucking dweeb
Yes.
gets up and starts doing poetry, and it crushes.
It crushes. Someone in a suit, and not a cool suit, again, another shambly nerd, gets up and shouts, I am the last yuppie poet. No, I'm the first yuppie poet. And everyone in this crowded bar on a Friday night says,
Listens!
We got to hear this guy out.
Dude, if someone did that at the bar in Edmonton, they would get thrown out.
You could do that at an open mic when it's your turn to talk and people would not listen to you.
They boo.
Yes.
They fucking boo.
Also, his
Yuppie
poem is
poem.
terrible. You're like, was it good? No, it's awful.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good writing. It's not good flow. No ethos. No
No,
pathos.
it's hack at best. It's a bunch of nursery rhyme style verses where the point is that I'm cool, actually.
Yeah.
It's someone who's good with numbers trying to argue, no, you like me. You think you don't like your accountant, but you like your
I would
accountant.
say that guy has the exact same vibe this entire movie gives me. Like, that guy is the author of this movie. Because for some reason, throughout it, is this weird, like, I don't even know how to say it, but like, you know how people say shit that sounds smart because they say it in a weird way, but there's nonsense the whole time?
None of the dialogue, none of it is believable because everyone is always speaking in quotes that were designed to be a cool quote you remember from a movie.
But none of them are good.
Like later on, Tom Cruise is going to say champagne, perfume going, what does he say? Perfume going down, sewage coming back up. That is not a thing that people would say because it doesn't make sense. Perfume is not good to drink. And even though you're like, well, it seems nice, perfume is not comparable to champagne, and also throwing it up is not like sewage. It tastes like vomit, but sewage is totally different.
Yeah, it's like champagne tastes good coming up, man.
Yeah,
you know,
you can do a lot worse. And he's just trying to say a quote. Everyone in this movie is trying to talk in quotes, which Coughlin, that's at least his character
his whole
thing.
thing is trying to
He's
be
openly
fucking
trying to talk in
prick.
quotes. So,
But to me, this whole movie is the first yuppie poet.
It's
It's good God, everyone's just except for, and I will save this for later, but the most beautiful and perfect dream girl that has ever been in a movie ever.
she's fantastic,
Like-
although I will later argue she is also a little bit evil.
I don't
She's
care.
the least
I
evil.
like him a little evil. You know what I mean?
She is
Oh, you gonna lie to
staggering-
your dad for me? Ooh.
staggeringly beautiful.
Not only is she staggeringly beautiful, she sees. Wait, we're gonna get to it, but
Yeah,
she's the most perfect angel. Okay, so what happens? That shit happens. They get the job. They save some money.
They start
He
killing
meets
us.
a rich woman. Tom Cruise meets, which by the way is the plot of the movie. They're like, we're gonna be bartenders so we can meet rich women.
Yeah.
And
The movie's not just about being cool. It's more about getting rich.
But
If
being a
anything,
gold digger. But
you
being a
only
male
act
gold
cool
digger.
to get rich. And how they're going to get rich is they're going to meet rich women who will give them money to start a bar franchise, which they want to call Cocktails and Dreams, which is a terrible name for a bar, by the way.
If it was a bar / strip club,
Yeah, maybe. It's trying way too hard.
I guess every strip club is a bar /
Yeah, there's not a lot. Anyways.
My favorite, the biggest twist in the movie is that Coughlin is an asshole, and Tom Cruise actually meets a rich woman and
Yeah.
likes her. He says, "That's my girlfriend."
A young Gina Gershon.
And then he confides in Coughlin about their sex life, and Coughlin betrays him. And he goes to the girl, he's like, "Yo, boy's talking smack on your name." And then for some reason, she doesn't just leave, she fucks Coughlin, which is
Pretty much in front of Tom Cruise.
pretty much at the bar.
And they're best friends.
And they are the best of friends.
That's
and
it.
I'll tell you this, if you did that to me, you would not wake up the next morning. I know where you live. I would burn
I
down
was
your house
thinking the
with your
same
fucking
thing.
roommates in it, bro. I would kill you.
Tom Cruise does punch him, but then he walks away.
I would not stop.
No, it was psychotic behavior. Like, Tom Cruise is not a great guy in this. Coughlin is dark, dark evil. He
Yeah.
sees his best friend having a little bit of joy in his life. And it's not like he's getting ditched. Tom Cruise is like, I will take you with me on this wonderful ride. I've met this rich woman who I think is a photographer for Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Who says to Tom Cruise, you can see the beginning of the crack, is she's taking a photo of Tom Cruise and says, I'm going to make you famous. You're going to be happening in New York because you're so good looking and a good bartender. And Coughlin comes and puts his arm around him and says, he's my protege. I discovered him. And she says, that's nice. Step out of the picture though. I've only got room for one of you. And from that moment, you can see him like, not, I'm going to go along with him, or I'm going to work hard and maybe even pass my friend, or I'm just happy to see him succeed.
No.
From a practical standpoint, he should at least think, I'm going to hitch my wagon to his star and use his success to create my success. No, he says, how can I destroy this happiness that my only friend in the world has found? And Tom Cruise doesn't even do anything that evil.
No, I mean, here, I'll tell you what, when he pitches moving to Jamaica, he does do it in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah, okay,
Which
that's
is
We get to
one of
see-
my favorite white men doing a Jamaican accent in the movies. Him and Brad Pitt are going shot for shot.
Yeah, well, Brad Pitt's really going for it, whereas Tom Cruise is playing a white guy doing a Jamaican accent. So, write in if you have thoughts on which is more or less offensive.
I would say, I don't know any Jamaican people that would see that and think offensive. They'd probably think, this guy's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Which everyone in the world would think if they met this guy on the street. He's doing weird hand shit. He's trying to fuck your wife.
Yeah,
He's going to Jamaica only to meet rich women. He's not going to Jamaica for the sun, the sand, the vibes.
We'll get to that later. He doesn't even enjoy any of that stuff when it happens to him. He can't take joy in anything.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
But he's finally also, when he hooks up with Gina Gershon, he like tickles it. It's like they have a tickle fight and fall off the bed, and we're supposed to see that as
Yeah,
incredibly
those
spicy.
last few screams did not seem like screams of joy.
But anyway, she's having a good time.
Right.
They're having a nice
That's
time.
what a good time sounded like in the 80s, eh?
Yeah, but in those days, that's how you did it. You tickle each other and you fall off the bed. They used to love in the movies acrobatic sex because we didn't have porn on the internet in them days, so we all had to imagine sex, and we imagined high-flying stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well,
There was a lot of tumbling routines.
and honestly, that's what sex really is.
Yeah, and it's we nailed it. We're more correct now than amateur porn is.
So what do you do when your best friend fucks your girlfriend and you punch him in the face and quit your job?
Oh, okay. It's not just that they have an affair. Coughlin says you can't trust her. I guarantee she'll cheat on you. I'll bet you $50 she cheats on you before the end of the week.
Yeah.
And then Coughlin hooks up with her. And how does he do it? By being so charming or irresistible? No. He says, hey, just so you know, Tom Cruise is talking about you. He told me about your sex life, he did. And then Tom Cruise didn't even say anything that evil. He just basically confirmed, yes, we hook up. And then he's like, yeah, he's telling stories about you. And so to get revenge, she hooks up with Coughlin, and then they make out right in front of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think I would kill you. I would crack a bottle and then sketch you right in the neck on the spot.
Adrian might. I think that you are the kind of guy who might do that. I think specifically, it's not so much that you have the darkness and rage within you that some. It's more, I think that's your button.
Yeah.
I think that if I made out with your girlfriend in front of you after being like, hey boy, the way I had sex with her, I did. Now you owe me $50. That's why I did it too, is to get $50 out of you. I think whatever evil you're capable of, that is what would draw it forward.
Oh yeah. That would be
Well, you
good.
might just collapse into a puddle. That's the other thing that most people might do, is they might collapse into a quiet sob.
No,
A
I think
quiet sob.
you'd have to do something.
Yeah.
Like I'll leave it here with something.
I think if you tell the judge that story, it's fine. They'll be like, you shoot.
Especially in the 80s, man.
Yeah, you went home and shot him? That's good. That's good that you shot
followed
him.
him home.
We don't want that guy doing stuff. Then you went and killed his parents to make sure they didn't make another one? Good. We want those people killed.
Yeah, we can't have that in the house, man.
Okay.
Okay, so after the horrible... Yeah, I'd really be in a cell block. You know what I mean? You'd be dead.
But anyway, they break up. And then
He
they
moves-
kind of flash forwards to, you get the impression like 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah, but he's in Jamaica and his life is the same.
Okay, he's in Jamaica. This is where it gets not more interesting, but this is part of what makes it interesting. Is the next scene is Tom Cruise is in Jamaica, and he's in paradise, and he's killing it as a bartender. He's doing great, and everyone likes him, but he's just bartending for tourists, not for cool people. It's everyone there is middle-aged and balding and not hip. It's extremely unhip.
Yeah.
Although there are beautiful women there, and which we'll find out more on that later. But you can tell that Tom Cruise isn't happy, which also doesn't make any sense. Because a few scenes earlier, he's like, Coughlin, if we just bartend for a few years and are successful, we can save up $75,000 and we can open Cocktails and Dreams and then franchise it, which is certainly what happened in the 90s. This was not a terrible business plan.
Yeah, actually, when you think about it, his is the best plan.
Yeah, he essentially pitches, what if we franchise fun bars for mainstream, not that cool people, and we put them in malls? Yeah, those were a hit. People
Yeah, man.
go to Chili's.
People go to fucking, what's the one? O'Flanagan's or
Yeah.
something.
Something like that.
Oh,
TGI
birds.
Fridays clearly already existed, but it's
Every
basically that.
every mall in the world has an Irish bar in it somewhere.
Yes.
And that's basically the same thing.
Anyways, he said, if we just save our money, we can do this on our own. And Coughlin's like, yeah, mate, we've got to get fast forward it. We've got to get a rich woman, we do. I think our Thai food is here.
Oh, perfect. He's in Jamaica, hates life, and
Yeah.
then in walks the most beautiful, perfect woman you've
I mean,
ever
even
seen.
though life is going according to plan, that's the thing. He seems unhappy, even though life is going according to plan. He's
Well-
making the money.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes that'll happen.
Actually, that is, again, this movie has a couple of real lessons mixed in with a endless parade of nonsense.
And do you know how you know she's the dream girl?
So the dream girl walks in, and how do you know, H? How do you know?
Because this movie's about cocktails, right?
Yes.
And from the start of the movie, what happens when fucking Tom Cruise is meeting his uncle? He's like, get me a whiskey or something. He meets Coughlin. Coughlin's like, here's some whiskey. Cruise is like, I'm good with a beer. I'd rather have beer. She doesn't want a cocktail. She doesn't want a tea or
right.
margarita.
You know what? I didn't
She
even
walks
notice
right
that.
in and she says, give me a fucking crispy cold one. And that's how you know she's the one of his dreams. Because she's simple. She doesn't need all that flash. She doesn't need you to shake the bottle. Just crack it open.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's the moment I fell in love with her, is when she was like, can I have a beer? And he was like, oh my god.
So, audience members, if you're looking to marry Adrian, step 1, order a beer on the first date. Show that you're salt of the earth and a simple person who doesn't need all the loop-de-loops, doesn't need the acrobatics that
Yes.
some girls need.
You know, I'm really low maintenance.
Yeah.
I'm high maintenance, but I'm low maintenance in effort. You know what I mean?
Don't put that on your. This is not good. I'm going to ask a lot and give very little.
I'm gonna ask a
experience.
lot and give nothing.
All right.
Be real trouble.
Okay, I'd like to reassess my advice. All right, audience, if you're looking to marry Adrian, aim higher. Learn to love yourself, as you should ask for more from life.
Care about yourself more than you care about me.
Although some of us are clearly wired to look for someone who just asks us to give endlessly.
That is true. Like the Lord.
That's true.
why He's our
This is
roommate.
very Christian.
So Jamaica. Oh yeah, how does he meet the most beautiful girl in the world? Well, her friend has gotten too drunk on the beach.
Her friend is passed out, and he acts like he's some kind of paramedic.
Yeah, I was like, is that what he did in the army? It doesn't come up.
No,
It
he
doesn't
just
come up. It's not. It's like, why even have him in the army to start the movie if it's never gonna come back?
he comes over and very confidently says she'll be fine.
Yeah.
And like, how would you know?
Bro, he puts his hand here, checks her pulse. He's like, all right, she'll be fine.
And then he does say what the paramedics will probably give her, but so he knows at least one drug. But-
Ipecac? It's
Man.
not a drug. It's the I mean, it is a drug, but it's like you give that to your dog when you want it to throw up.
Okay, well, you clearly have also been in the army.
You don't want to know what it is over there.
Knows a lot about throwing up. I think he keeps his figure.
Hey, I'm actually bulimic, man.
That's
Wouldn't that be a fun twist?
oh man. If we get into disorders,
Oh, jeepers.
we're gonna break each other down psychologically. If you're not enjoying this, don't give up on the whole podcast. We're gonna go deep after we're done the recap.
Good. What do you mean? The replay is the fun part.
I agree. I'm having a good time.
So then they
So he meets his dream girl. That's the important thing. He meets his dream girl, and it's going great.
fucking day.
It's going great. They're vibing, and she's. By the way, did we say her name yet? It's Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue.
Arguably the most beautiful woman of the '80s, if not the history of time.
That's right. And Steve was about 40 when this movie came out.
So I'd seen a lot of stuff by
I'd
then.
seen everything.
I knew my way around dames and gals. But Elizabeth
Oh my
Shue,
God.
and she's so bright-eyed and kind and nice.
She got the whole world ahead of her, you know.
And she's simple. It's his personality also. She just wants a beer. She doesn't want a cocktail.
And real shit, she sees through Coughlin's bullshit immediately.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh, we
the
didn't even
fucking-
mention that Coughlin shows up.
He
That's-
comes back the same fucking day they meet because he's a loser who can't go away. And he's somehow randomly married to a dumb rich woman who actually loves him, but then doesn't.
Yeah, sort of. So Coughlin, the aging, bitter Australian, shows up, walks into this bar in Jamaica as Tom Cruise is getting to know the love of his life. And he immediately starts shitting all over his friend's happiness again. And Tom Cruise is happy to see him.
Yeah, that's the part that made me mad.
He's like,
Of all the things in this movie
you
that made me
rascal.
mad, Tom Cruise chilly, like being like, oh, it's all in the past. What a, girls be girls or whatever. I would, bro, if I ever saw you again after that, after I killed you in the cell block.
No, I'm a water under the bridge guy. I would forgive you. I'll forgive you. You know what? Give it a day or two. and
Would
I'm
you
ready to
really forgive me? Even
Here's,
after you broke up?
here's my honest answer. That I do believe in forgiveness, but by forgiveness, I mean letting things go and being okay with it if good things happen to you moving forward. There are some things that you can do that it's not just that you've done something bad. You have now revealed something about yourself, and therefore we cannot have,
Yeah.
in the very least, we can't have the same kind of relationship. It depends. Like, obviously, we've all had to forgive people of things, and then you just know that. You're like, all right, note to self, that I
person will
can't
betray
trust
me
them
if
not
given
to
the
do
opportunity.
X, Y, and Z. And maybe you decide you can make your peace with that. But in that case, that's something so dark that even if I think you could get past it and grow into become a better person, I would say, good, I hope you do. But you're going to have to do that in somebody else's life. You burned this particular bridge.
Yeah, you gotta go, man. You gotta go.
I'm not going to get all chummy with you. Again, it was just a
And
crazy
he's so
dark
much
thing to
older
do.
than him too.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be his mentor. It's
And-
not just his buddy.
He's like, let's say he's 45.
Yeah.
Because he's around.
Which is about what he is.
He's
I looked
got
it up.
like a
He's in his-
45-year-old
he's in his
hairline.
40s.
Tom Cruise is maybe 21.
Yes.
Which means that girl, maybe 25.
Yeah.
He's a 45-year-old dude stealing a 25-year-old. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
acting crazy from start to finish.
Yeah, and he only did it to screw with his friend. It's not like he was also in love with her or something like that, or that they got drunk. It's like, oh, sorry, dude. It was, I saw you had something and I wanted to ruin it.
Yeah. And then he does it again. And then he does it a third time.
Yeah, he starts doing it immediately. When Coughlin shows up. They haven't seen each other for years, is very warm and friendly, and calls Tom Cruise, I think, his only friend in the world. Is like, hey, my only friend. I haven't seen you in years. Great to see you, though. And Tom Cruise seems like, this rascal. Oh, well, he's back in my life. Okay, how you doing, buddy? Like a little bit of, you rascal, you. But you know what? How you doing? Have a seat. Yeah. He's not exactly warm to him, but he is like kind of like happy to see him.
Yeah, I guess maybe like you haven't seen a familiar face in 2 years. You're hanging out with tourists.
It is like, my old best friend I had a falling out with, but he's the kind of smile where the falling out was about something you later realized didn't matter. As opposed to something that you, with every passing day, you realize, no, that's a key part of your character.
Yeah, like that's true evil. And then what do? He fucking hangs out with them again. They go out.
Yep.
And beautiful Elizabeth Shue is there, looking beautiful the whole time.
Oh yeah, Tom Cruise.
Radiant.
Tom Cruise talks about Coughlin as if he's the world's most charming person who everyone loves, and Tom Cruise seems taken aback that Elizabeth Shue does not like him.
Which, by the way, girl, that is queen behavior. See, being able to see through your fucking slimy friend is the hottest thing a girl can do.
As someone who has almost exclusively slimy friends, I have found it a challenge to relationships when they see through them. But yeah, he's right. It is a sign of high
you
character.
have almost exclusively slimy friends?
I mean...
We're friends, Steve.
I'm sure I probably met someone else. But,
oh, man. I would never try and convince your girlfriend to leave you.
Oh, okay.
I would try and convince you to leave your girlfriend to hang out with me more, but that's different.
That is, I agree.
That's regular.
That's normal styles. Speaking of our friends. Where were we? So,
they meet on the beach.
The three of them hang out. Coughlin is himself. He continues to dole out Coughlin's laws. I'm trying to remember what some of them are.
I hate every single one of them, so I blanked them from
the really good one hasn't come yet, but I will say the one that I think makes a small amount of sense is everything ends, otherwise it wouldn't end. That one's not bad. But he also says, another good one is Coughlin's law. Anything else is something better.
I hate
That's not true.
That's really not
That's
true.
something that you would say if you have serious issues with compulsion and self-loathing also.
It's mania.
Yeah.
It's true mania.
There you go.
That guy,
But even that one at least makes, like, as comprehensible as a sentence. Some of them are just, I'll look them up. Okay, keep talking about what happens, and I'm going to look up some Coughlin's laws.
I'll tell you this. One of the first interactions they have, the first night, Tom Cruise, back in the TGI Fridays, he's having a shit night, things aren't going well. And then after the shift, he's like, I'm going to quit. All the waitresses fucking hate me. And then Coughlin goes, wait till you've given them herpes. And you're like, wait, what?
He says crabs. Wait till you don't know, hate yet. Wait till you give them crabs.
It's like, bro, crabs is the one, like, that's a hygiene one. You know what I mean? That's not like a, get the fuck out of here, dog.
Okay, one of these isn't bad also. Never show surprise. Never lose your cool. That's what Tom Cruise actually says it when Coughlin shows up. He just looks up and is like, no, hey, it's you. And Coughlin says, you're not surprised to see me, mate? And he goes, it's Coughlin's law. Never show surprise. Never lose your cool. That's what Tom Cruise.
I think Coughlin started just like ripping off a bunch of stuff he remembers about, like he randomly has a success manual, which means that he's learned fucking nothing through this experience.
That's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Yeah, Coughlin does show up and immediately start breaking his friend down to look cool in the eyes of the random old, like, middle-aged dudes at the bar. It's like, I know this guy. Oh, you girl? You think pretty girl? You think you like him? He immediately tells her he's going to leave you, and starts telling the other people around the bar, this guy does not deserve your respect. Like, just starts chipping away at his buddy immediately.
Again, how did this guy land a wife?
Oh, actually, okay, one of these is good advice. Coughlin's law. Never tell tales about a woman, no matter how far away she is, she'll hear you. That one, That
one is good advice.
That is good advice.
It rings a little hollow when Coughlin is the one who lied to the woman about what she was mad about.
Yeah, he's the one telling the tale. He basically says, Coughlin's law is don't trust meat.
The whole time his life works out.
Drink or be gone. Don't get your meat where you make your bread. He doesn't take his own advice. Anyways, never mind. We won't get too much
Okay,
into the
so
laws.
then Cockle gets in her head. They end up splitting, right?
Not okay. Even then, it's darker than it seems. Tom Cruise, they go on a magical montage where in this tropical paradise, Tom Cruise hangs out with his dream woman, who's so nice and she's down to earth. Everything Adriaan says, they're like really clicking as human beings. Like you could tell that it's not just a weekend fling. It's maybe some spark is developing, and Coughlin senses this. And immediately starts trash talking about it. This way, with a much better angle than the last time. Like he knows how to hurt and make his friend unravel.
Yep.
He's like, "You're only with her, mate, because that kind of a regular lady's the best you can do. You're not a closer." He starts needling him to the other old. Here's a lesson for you kids. If your friend every time you get a little bit of shine, starts immediately trying to rub it off you, bad sign. Bad sign.
Bad friend.
Immediately, he is like, this guy's only with that beautiful regular girl because the best he can do is a regular girl. I've known him for years. He's not a closer. He's not a closer. He's surrounded by rich women, but he lacks the courage to take down a rich woman because he lacks courage and he's not committed to his dream. That's why he can't take down an older rich woman. And then Tom Cruise, like a little wind-up toy, like Marty McFly getting called chicken, is like, I can do it. I can take down a rich girl. And Coughlin's like, right there, take down that rich girl. And then Tom Cruise goes home with a cougar in front of Elizabeth Shue.
The most beautiful angel the world has ever produced.
Yeah. Flies an airplane into the tower of his own love.
I would oh my god.
She's so mad that not even mad, that's not the right word. She's so embarrassed. He embarrassed her because he did it so public. Made her look like a fool. She cancels her vacation, gets on a plane, and flies home. As Tom Cruise is told by the friend that she was on vacation with, who she abandoned to hang out with her new man love, Tom Cruise. Yeah, she treats him the way. But I mean, that's the one thing about this movie that's almost mildly interesting is she treats Tom Cruise the way he had been treating women. Like she treats him as an accessory rather than a person, and he doesn't like it. It really hurts his feelings.
Yeah, and she always makes him like, yeah, fuck. And then he gets drunk and he pushes the guy and then he breaks the art.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, that is the nice thing about dating a rich woman. Stop.
I actually liked that. I liked when he beat up the foppish artist. That guy had it coming, and he was looking to get out of that relationship anyway. So it was kind of a 2-for-1.
Yeah, true. Then he tracks down the most beautiful girl in the whole world.
Tracks her down.
And where's she working?
She's just working in a cafe because she's salt of the earth.
Working in a regular old diner because she's a beautiful angel.
And he tries to do a big smile thing. He's just running games on her. He's not saying anything of substance. He's trying to charm her back.
Saying, please, baby.
And she
And she says, your cute fucking smile won't work this time, dick boy.
Dumps food all over him. And then he does have a somewhat decent line where he looks over at the table beside him as he's covered in food and says, I would not recommend the special. Which was, that's
pretty good.
Rolled with that.
But you know what that is? It's not weird, half-deep, semi-philosophical bullshit. It's just a guy making a comment.
Little glib.
I mean, watching him food cover down, I was like, all right.
Okay, he has now been made low, as she was made low, so perhaps he can get back with his lady love. So what does he do?
Tries to go to her apartment.
He waits outside. Yeah, he keeps charming her, and he's like, "Baby, I deserved it. I deserved it all."
He pretends to be blind.
Yeah, he does another game. He's always making little jokes.
He's always doing a little weird wrist.
Stevie Wonder thing for her. But
Please, baby. She's crumb a pussy.
So she kind of cracks a smile and says, "No, I'm in it for real this time. I've moved here. I've moved back to New York." Doesn't mention that I came home with that woman that I cheated on you with, actually, and I lived with her for several months, actually.
Don't even worry about stories people don't need to know.
I did enjoy it, so I've decided I will go back to you after all, because fun coincidence, you and the rich woman I thought I could exploit happen to live in the same city. But no, baby, it's all about you, baby. I'm in it for real, and I'm not going to freak out. And then she says,
I'm in it for real, and also, can I stay at your place?
Can I stay at your place? I just moved out of this.
I just went through a crazy living arrangement. I can't tell you about it.
Yeah, let's not get into it. I do need a place to stay, but I love you. Also, I need a place to stay, and I love you. They're coincidental. What a hap! Some coincidences are happy.
And then what does he do? He falls in love, and then he commits...
Wait. You're missing that she says, I can freak you out. And he says, No, you can't.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I'm locked in. And you know what she says, audience. What does a woman follow up I could freak you out with? I have crabs. No, that's a callback. Really, she says, I'm pregnant. And then his exact word is, I'm freaking out, which was, again, not a bad line. This movie is,
That is like,
it's
alright,
not a bad
fair
watch. It's not without its charms.
It is, and it's crazy that he wasn't like, "Is it mine?" Because that would be my.
No, he
first
does
question.
say that. He does, and she gets really mad.
No,
which
but
actually,
I mean, like, that would be my first. I wouldn't even say I'm freaking out. I'd be like, is it?
he says, and it's mine, and she looks at him, and he's like, come on. And that's the one thing the whole movie, I'm like, that is a reasonable question.
Yes, we've been
What
on
do you-
vacation.
Yeah, we spent a couple of days together.
Months.
And
Even
we
moved
were
on, it's been months.
Making love in the jungle. I was mostly blasting into the trees the whole time to be safe.
Oh, not the trees, man.
But one
That's an
time,
invasive species.
that one time, I thought we could get away with it. So you're sure? And she says, yes, I'm sure. By the way, the whole time they're recording, he's like slamming her into the water. He's
He's like kind of bullying.
even when he's being nice, he's like bullying her. He's ripping art out of her hands, holding it above her head, pushing her into the water. He is not a good guy. If he was played by almost anyone else, because Tom Cruise, he is not just like a nice guy smile, but a boyish smile. If he
Yeah.
was played by someone who came off as 25, like Billy Zabka, if he was played by Billy Zabka, the villain from another great Elizabeth Shue movie, The Karate Kid, the whole time people be like, why is she with this abusive dude? Even his charmingness is pretty mean.
Yeah,
he
true.
literally is wrestling her down all the time, never lets her win. The one time she does a nice hip toss, he acts really hurt, makes her feel bad. But anyways.
Yeah, very odd.
But it's this movie is fueled by Tom Cruise's charisma, which is I think why it is kind of a fun movie to watch. Especially if you care about cinema history, this is Tom Cruise making a pretty bad script work by pure charisma.
Yeah, honestly, because everyone else in this movie, except the beautiful Elizabeth Shue, who is an angel,
Yes.
everyone else kind of sucks. Like
Gina Gershon goes on to a career. She's like hot in like a some people are like hot in a mannish way. Like she's got like
Yeah,
a.
Steve?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what
It's
you
not
mean.
weird for me to say. Gina Gershon's attractive and has a somewhat severe face. I don't think either of those things are
Somewhat
weird to say.
severe is crazy.
Listen, you look up to Gina Gershon. She went on to a career. Brian Brown was in Is it Brian? I'm not even sure I'm getting his last name right. But Brian is the name of the Australian actor who was also in FX.
You know, he's kind of chop, man.
Some
He's
girl-
like a handsome guy.
Some women really like scumbags. Which this is
That
not
is
in
heartbreaking,
some.
especially in
I'm
the 80s,
emphasizing
I guess.
some. I'm not trying to make any, but let's not pretend
Some
that
women do
scumbags
like
don't do
scumbags.
well.
Yeah, scumbags crush.
If only we could point to some of the people who'd walked through this very frame of our episode.
If only we knew some scumbag.
If only we had an easy reference point that you could rewind a few minutes. But
And you can
anyways,
guess which one it is. Because I bet you could fucking guess.
I like that guy. I'm just
Yeah,
anyways.
In many ways, he's the Coughlin of our lives.
He's too young. This is the developing Coughlin when he's still got joy, but he's like, and also goodness within him. He's got goodness within
He
him.
does have goodness within him.
But
Coughlin does not have goodness within
not
him.
anymore. But at one point in Coughlin's life, I bet he did.
Maybe.
We should make.
The prequel to Cocktail.
Well, I was gonna say we should make people watch this movie as a frightening ghost of Christmas future type situation. But I
This is
apply
really
that
gonna be-
again to myself as it's a little bit Christmas presenty. But anyways, the important thing is she says no. She will not take him back, to our surprise. And then
Which I love about her. Stand, queen.
Again.
Stand up for yourself.
this is good for Adrian. We're teaching Adrian what a good woman is like. He now knows where to guide his life towards. You can't hit land if you don't know where north is. Adrian's looking for his Elizabeth Shue in this
true.
movie. Although,
If the
anyway,
Elizabeth Shue fits.
we're professionals, ladies and gentlemen. We write for a living. So Elizabeth Shue turns him down, but he does not give up. I can't remember what he does for work, but he gets a job somewhere and he starts slumming it. And he goes to her apartment, and her roommate says, "Oh, she's not here because she's pregnant. She went to live with her parents in Park Avenue."
And he goes, Park Avenue?
That's right, Park Avenue, folks. She's a rich girl. She was just living amongst the people,
She
not
was
as
rich
some
the whole time.
not as some kind of common people experiment. She was really trying to be one of us. She had a job at a cafe. She probably was going to college or something. She was just a regular person despite her immense wealth. And he goes to her apartment. Sure enough, she lives in the penthouse.
Yep, and he talks to the security guard and says all visitors must be announced when they arrive.
Yeah.
And then the guy gets there, and it's just her dad.
And
And why would her dad not meet him downstairs and let him come to the apartment? Nobody knows.
it is the darndest thing, because originally her dad seems like he's going to be a little bit buddy-buddy. He's like, oh, no, I'm glad you're here. I would like to talk to you as well. Look, we should speak man to man. And you think maybe he'll be like, I'm glad you're here and you can act like a man. Or maybe he'll be like, listen, you really done my daughter wrong and here's what I expect with you. But he flips from very quickly. He goes, listen, we need to speak man to man. I'm glad you're here. I'd like to speak with you. You're a fucking scumbag and you ain't coming nowhere near my daughter and I'm not going to let you into the building again, buddy. Get out of here. Get out of here. The hell you say. He keeps saying the hell you say, that's a great old timey saying. We're bringing back the hell you say.
Okay, you want a guy to leave your daughter alone forever. What do? You threaten to kill him? Do you threaten to break his legs? Or do you give him a check for one of the smallest amounts of money that you possibly could have
You're a wealthy
offered?
man. If you're a rich guy and you want a guy out of your daughter's life,
$1 million, you'll never see me again.
One of two things. Even if you say, oh, you need 75 grand to open that bar you want, here's 75 grand. I'm suing you for it if I ever even see you again.
Yeah.
Or I will have you killed. I will have you killed. I'm a very wealthy person. And maybe if I'm even feeling generous, we can do both. Here's a check for 75 grand, and if I ever see you again, I will have you killed. If I ever even see you. You see me on the street, you duck into an alley. Buddy.
Yeah, you gotta go, man.
But no, he offers him 10 grand, which I gotta say, not enough money.
10 grand, like even in the 80s, when money was worth so much more.
Yeah, like how much, Adrian, if you knew her, if you had gotten Elizabeth Shue pregnant, so you're not only
There's
the love in your life,
no
you also
amount
have
of
to
money,
separate from your child
no
forever.
amount of wealth. That would
10
separate
grand
me
then
from
is
Elizabeth
worth,
Shue.
like, I'm gonna guess, is probably about 75 grand right now. I don't have the inflation rates in front of me.
Probably.
75 grand's a lot of money. Not saying it's not. It's nothing to sneeze at.
Can't buy a house.
Would you wave goodbye to your child forever and also life with Elizabeth Shue?
No, man. Anything less than a number that starts with a B, no fucking chance.
Okay. There you go. Say what you want about Adrian. He would not... You can't buy him love.
Not very money motivated, as you can see from my...
That's another selling point. Not only will he not maintain you, he doesn't care about money. So you won't have any.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually going to make such a good husband.
This
one
is
day.
a matchmaking podcast now.
Hello to the female viewers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have ideas for how to make Adrian more marriageable, please put them in the comments of whatever you're enjoying this
Yeah,
on.
please do something. That would be great. Okay, so then 10 grand, say no to your girl, and then she gets home, and then she goes, "Why are you here?"
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, "I'm in love with you, baby." And she goes, I couldn't trust you. I couldn't tell you I'm rich. I couldn't trust you. And he goes,
Which
"You
is
think I care about
totally
you
reasonable.
being rich?"
It was bang on. He has made it clear he cares tremendously about that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even bring this part up. Earlier in the movie, he's talking to Elizabeth Shue about the rich woman that he was hooking up with.
Yep.
And he's like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. These rich women, they don't give a shit." And he's like, and then she's just sitting there just taking it all in like,
Yes.
"I'm still going to marry this guy later in the movie."
He says it twice, because once we kind of glossed over, but we did mention it. When Coughlin comes back into his life in the Jamaican bar, he's like, "Oi, mate, I've done it. I've married a rich woman. Look at her there over there. She's an heiress who she wanted to make her dad mad, so she married me." And then, it gets kind of Popeye-ish, but I didn't practice beforehand. But anyways, Tom Cruise, so what Elizabeth Shue says, "Oh, she's beautiful," and she is. It's the great... Blanking on her name right now, but the great woman from Roadhouse. Now that's a great movie.
That could be the next movie.
But anyway, maybe we'll do Roadhouse next. But anyways, it's the woman from Roadhouse. So he does get like just a scorch cake of a lady who's also worth tens of millions of dollars. And Elizabeth Shue's like, why would she marry that old dirtbag? Which again, she sees through his nonsense. And Tom Cruise says, some rich chicks will just marry somebody grubby to make their dad mad. You know how rich chicks are. But then Tom Cruise is clear like, he's done it. I've always wanted to marry a rich chick myself so that I can exploit her to get my business going. He says that almost word for word.
Yep.
And then later when they're making out, she says, "So is this going to be a one-night stand?" And he says, "That doesn't make you a bad person," which so far, fair enough. Hey, you're on vacation. Don't feel bad about enjoying yourself. That's sex positive. But then he says, unless you're a rich chick, and then we'll get serious. And she says, sorry, I'm not. And he's like, well, then sorry, I guess this is just a weekend stand.
Oh.
He explicitly says, I would like you just for your money if you had it.
The hero of the movie.
The good guy. And so later on, fast forward half an hour or so.
He rips up the check. He says, this is what I think about fucking money. Which, by the way, $10,000 is, you rip it, paper's worth more than the money you got on it.
Also, he knows that there's more along the line. All you have to do, if you're a money grubber, I'm saying, you marry her, you're good to the kid. After a couple of years, pretty good chance the dad is like, all right, I guess you can, you know what, I'm not giving you luxury, but the kid's college is taken care of. That's now, you don't have to pay that. Even if that's all he does is take care of his grandkid, your life is easier. You are connected to that money.
Yeah.
So, and she knows that's what he cares about. He has firmly established himself as a scumbag who just has a very nice smile.
And then how does he win the woman's heart? What is the final thing that makes her come to him in her hour of need? He punches out a bell.
Oh, yeah, right.
He just randomly, he sneaks by him to get in the most you've never worked in a hotel in your entire life way.
Oh.
He gets by the bellhop, and he's in the door, which definitely would have been fucking locked, even though it was the 1980s.
Yeah, he does sneak into the cave. We're skipping one extremely important thing here, though. So in this part, he just gets kicked out. The bellhop wins this round because the rich dad, phones up security, and when Tom Cruise keeps saying, but I love her, man, he keeps going, the hell you say, the hell you say, and then has him thrown out onto the street like a bump. So where does Tom Cruise go? To his old friend Coughlin, who is moneyed up now. He's married to a rich woman and owns his own bar.
He lives on a yacht.
He lives on a yacht, which all of this is true. And he has to sneak into Coughlin's bar because it's so exclusive, and he's just he's just a homeless dirtbag at this point in his life. All this happens within, I think, 36 hours. He is literally, Tom Cruise is homeless.
Yeah.
And so as a homeless guy, he sneaks into Coughlin's bar, and Coughlin, as security is in the process of throwing Tom Cruise out, is like, hey, it's Tom Cruise, Brian Flanagan, my only friend. Specifically, my only friend in the world. Brings him in for a big hug. And then once there's a couple of lines, and he's like, wow, seems like you got a lot of friends. And then Coughlin goes, crikey, yeah, this place is a proctologist's dream. Wall-to-wall assholes. And then that's something.
It's not a bad line. In the 80s, that's really clever.
Yeah, that's pretty clever for 1987 when this was filmed. Of course, it came out in 88, which is why we keep calling it 1988's Cocktail. And then so then they hang out in the bar, and then they go back to Coughlin's boat where he cracks open a $500 bottle of whiskey, which I looked it up, is now worth $3,500.
Jesus Christ.
So which was the bet when Coughlin was like, hey, I bet you can't hook up with that old rich cougar, who's still a fine looking lady, but definitely more Coughlin's age, twice Tom Cruise's age. I bet you can't
still
take down...
half your fucking age, buddy.
Listen, I don't hook up with women out of bets. I only operate out of love.
Yeah, I would hook up with a woman on a bet, but she has to be the one having the bet.
So she wins the bet.
She wins the bet for having sex with me.
If she can turn me into the prom king. Like it's
no, not
reversed.
like a
I'm
she's
the
all
nerd.
that type
It's a he's all that. If she he's all that, if a woman is willing to he's all that, Adrian, then he'll be part of it.
How much of this podcast is going to be you begging women to turn my life around?
Listen, ladies, we can do it. Together, we can do it. He's got a lot of raw material there. We can make a winner out of this kid. Because I'm not Coughlin, okay? I've got to by turning Adrian's life around, I will turn my life around. Because this movie was an uncomfortable look into a very dark mirror. Which we will get into in a couple of minutes. We're almost at the end.
So Coughlin's big riff, the reason he's got all this money, he's like, girl's dad's got me all the money, and what have I done? I've spent it on commodities. I'm fucking rich. I'm gonna be double rich and really quickly.
No, but he lost it. He's like, I put it all into commodities and it crapped out. I am bankrupt.
Which, I will say this, in terms of cinematography, or like whatever writing, it was nice that the one lesson we got from business school was the one where the teacher was like, this is about long-term investment for short-term risk.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's the lesson that literally one day, he didn't need the fucking degree. He just needed that one little class. If they stayed friends, his investing would have been so much better. And also, no wonder he fucking lost all his money. He was definitely hammered when he was picking the stocks.
That is all true. Again, there are parts of this movie that are good, and one of them is Coughlin is drunk all the time. Like, this is what, if you don't know what a functioning alcoholic looks like, watch this movie. has it. It's not that they're slurring constantly. They just always have a drink in their hand, won't shut the fuck up, and make a lot of questionable decisions.
Yeah.
As Coughlin clearly does, and he does spell it out for you. As much as it's a good screenplay, it does make the one screenplay sin, which it tells you, in case you've missed the movie, I should have listened to Brian at the beginning, but I tried to fast track it, and it didn't work out for me. And now I'm too old, and I am a frightening look of what'll happen to Tom Cruise if he doesn't land a love.
Yeah, exactly.
And he says all that, and they split their fancy alcohol. Then Coughlin's wife comes in and says, I'd like to go home. And he says, no, babe, I'm just going to crash on my boat. My best friend, my only friend, will drive you home. So Tom Cruise, the homeless guy, drives Coughlin's wife home. Coughlin's wife is like, please walk me up. I don't like walking in this neighborhood alone. And he knows what she's saying, but he's like,
He goes.
Okay.
He goes anyway.
And
because the truest revenge is not sinning.
in a sense, yeah, actually, I agree. But she doesn't know that there's any revenge to be had. She just thinks that they're best buddies. He even says, Brian, this is a pretty good impression of the woman whose name I'm blanking on. Brian, you're the only man that Coughlin respects. And he's like, oh man, that's quite the thing to put on me before you try to get me to cheat on him with you. But anyways, sure enough, she makes a move, and he kisses this staggeringly beautiful woman for a second, then goes, I gotta get out of here. And then he runs away, runs back to his best friend.
He's a legend.
He's learning, he's developing some shred of character.
And then he rushes right back to the fucking boat.
Or it's possible that he thought that the best revenge isn't hooking up with the guy's wife, it's turning down his wife.
Yeah, that is the ultimate revenge.
Both of those are pretty good. But anyway, the important thing is, what does he find when he gets back to the boat to commiserate with his friend Coughlin?
Coughlin has cracked open the bottle of whiskey and slit his own neck with it.
Slashed his own throat with a jagged bottle of whiskey.
I don't know how drunk you have to be to do that. It's a hard thing to accomplish, to crack a bottle and then...
Yeah, you might have to be actually super drunk. Although he has written out an extremely coherent suicide note first.
Yep, no spelling errors. I read it.
Well written, very, a lucid suicide note. Writes that, smashes the bottle, stabs himself in the throat, bleeds all over the place, and dies. And then Tom Cruise, motivated by this suicide, which the note basically said, Oi, Coughlin, don't be like me, mate? That's essentially what it added up to?
Yeah.
More or less?
He was like, my wife doesn't know I've lost all of her dad's money. I was like, whoa, that is way darker than... It's like, bro, she's going to have to she's going to get into real trouble.
I will say I have seen what it's like when you lose a family's wife and then kill yourself, and the family holds it against you. It is reflected in the funeral. I shouldn't laugh.
My God. And then show Coughlin's funeral, and there's people there. That is the most unrealistic part of this whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
Coughlin died, the fucking priest wouldn't show up.
Yeah, he makes it loud and clear he has no friends.
Got no friends.
He just has a wife who's only in it because she gets a kick out of him and likes making her dad mad. And he has bankrupted her.
Which, by the way, if there's any rich women who just want to make their dad mad, I am the ultimate make your dad mad guy.
Maybe if you grow the beard out so you look more like Shaggy. Like you gotta shave the rest of it.
I'll grow my hair out, I'll grow my armpit hair out, I'll grow the beard out.
You still come from, I think, if you're looking to make your dad mad, we got access to dad maddier people than Adriaan.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You come from good stock, you're intelligent, you can pull it together and present well. Not that the people we know aren't intelligent, but...
stupid is as stupid does.
That is a good point. No, don't get us wrong. Your dad should not be thrilled if you're dating Adriaan. But he might hold out hope.
Yeah, he'd be like, it'll turn it around, but you know who didn't hold out hope? Coughlin killed himself.
Coughlin killed himself.
Ball or move. Kill yourself on your own boat.
That is one of...
You lose your wife.
I will say,
again,
the Coughlin character is the best part of the movie because he is relentlessly self-loathing in an extremely realistic and I think I already said lucid way.
Do you know any people like Coughlin in real life?
Listen, we'll get to that.
Okay, we're almost done.
But Coughlin specifically says Coughlin's law, bury the dead, they just stink up the place. Like, he is announcing, I am an irredeemable piece of garbage who can't take joy from anything. Which, that is one of the big lessons, which maybe we'll have time to talk about after. Is, okay, Coughlin is too old to keep living the Coughlin lifestyle. But there's other lifestyles available to him. If he was just willing to enjoy someone else's happiness, he could just enjoy his protege's happiness.
He could just be a rich dude on a beach for the rest of his fucking life.
He could just be a rich dude on a beach giving Tom Cruise advice, and like he could maybe have a kid. His wife is still very young. His figurative son, Tom Cruise, is starting to come up in life. He could enjoy his happiness. There's so much vicarious joy for him to experience. But he's like, yeah, I'm too old to have sex with the woman that you love and ruin it for you. So I guess I'm out of here. And so he kills himself.
Yeah.
And then Tom Cruise goes back to tell Elizabeth Shue, hey, I'm serious this time because the guy that you hated, you remember my scumbag head friend? He's dead, and I'm kind of broken up about that. And for some reason that works, but he has to sneak into the building. He tricks the bellhop to get in.
Oh, that's right.
And
then he
now
punches the bellhop.
Yeah.
She like is magnetically drawn to him. It's a weird. It's not like a not romantic.
No, I get it.
She's just like, it's like a scared child trying to find her dad.
And I will say this is how her dad plays it the most wrong. Her dad, all you dads out there if your daughter is dating Adriaan, here's how you don't play it. Don't oppress him openly in front of her, because now he looks oppressed and he is sympathetic. And Elizabeth Shue's dad turns Tom Cruise into a heroic character of sympathy, and now he's raging against you to try and get to the princess, and then you're like shooting arrows into him and oppressing him and being mean to him, and he's both sympathetic and heroic, and that's why she goes to him. Elizabeth Shue's dad sets it up perfectly for Tom Cruise, and then has the bellhop come in and punch him, and then he defeats the bellhop in combat, so now he both looks cool and heroic and sympathetic, and she leaves with him.
And then they get married. In TGI Friday.
We missed another fun scumbag moment when she announces that she's pregnant. Sorry, they get married in the uncle's bar. And the uncle is like, of course, I am going to lend you some money, but I will still not give you any money. And still,
which is funny.
That's
a funny uncle.
It is. He continues to act like a cheapskate, but he at least does lend him the money, so he's a somewhat avuncular character. But we missed one great moment. When Tom Cruise finds out she's pregnant, the person he tells, the first person, isn't Coughlin. It's his uncle. And his uncle's like, yeah, what's the problem? She's not shaking you down. She wants you to not be part of her life. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You should just abandon this child and wave goodbye to this woman that you think you might love. That's cool, man. Abandoning children is cool.
I think that's like that's a single uncle advice.
It is.
I mean, that's a victim of divorce court.
Yeah, I will say this. I'm not saying that attitude ain't out there. I'm not even saying that attitude is not common. I'm just saying, well, it might even be normal. It might be the least scumbaggish of the scumbaggish things presented. There's not a nice person in this entire movie.
Elizabeth Shue is the best.
Yeah, because Gina Shaw's not nice either. The second she finds out Tom Cruise has done something she doesn't like, she's like, let's stab him in the heart in public. Elizabeth Shue is kind of nice, but she is also very easily tricked by her dad being mean to Tom Cruise, basically.
Well,
but I'll say she is nice.
That's just a factor of
Also,
being nice.
as they're dancing, she even says, will you love me as I get more pregnant? He says, as long as you don't get too fat.
No, but that was she said, now that we're married, I can get big and fat. And he goes, as long as I don't get too fat. And she goes, I'm going to get so fucking fat.
So clearly,
and it's like flirty banter.
I agree. It's part of their flirty
banter.
banter.
From two people who are definitely on diet plans.
It's true. This, as far as his sins go, this is one of the least good ones.
I would love her any size. I would love her if she was extremely skinny.
See?
Or a midget.
Adriaan would support you even if you had
centaur body.
A centaur body.
You had the top half of Elizabeth Shue and the bottom half of
if you had disordered eating, Adriaan would love you, and would support it and enable it.
Oh my God, would I enable it?
But or if you were a centaur, which is important also.
Yeah, pretty much. I am out here desperately seeking love.
This podcast is going to be very big in the centaur community.
Oh boy. Okay, so here's
that's how the movie ends. Is they get married.
Tom Cruise does a stupid fuck-ass poem again, which
yeah.
which I hated so much.
Who would like that? What? Yeah, the bar life does not resemble actual bar life, which neither does Roadhouse, to be honest. But Roadhouse is awesome anyway.
Roadhouse resembles some bar life.
When we do Roadhouse, we'll get into it.
Are you doing only bar movies? That would be funny.
We'll see. We'll put in the comments, prove to us that you're listening and tell us what you'd like to hear us discuss next.
Yeah.
But we're about to talk about what this movie has to say about life and about us. But the poems are terrible. If you are in a crowded, that's part of the thing too, an extremely busy bar, everyone is happy to wait an infinite amount of time for their drinks. They just want to hear you recite bad poems. That is what this movie believes, and juggle. This movie thinks people like juggling and bad poetry.
And I'll tell you what, I like a bottle trick. I like it when they do a bottle trick.
Yeah, like one quick one and then you start pouring.
Yeah, if it's a whole routine and there's other people waiting, I would get some.
That is the thing. Many of his moves are cool. Like, he's legitimately grabbing stuff off the shelf, no looking, and dropping it behind the back to his buddy. Like, him and Coughlin are incredible.
Yeah.
They have a hell of a routine going.
They should take it to the stage.
Yes.
But they should not be doing that when I'm trying to get a beer, bro.
Yeah, you would need other bartenders like, here's your rum and coke.
You need, the waitside would have to be working triple time.
Yeah, you are there's a separate line to get your drink made by them, which you stand in when you have a minute.
Yeah. And also, why is that bar so bumping all the time?
Yeah.
If no one ever gets a fucking drink.
That's it. People in bars expect to drink eventually.
Yeah, man. The bartender's not there to be the show.
Yes.
Unless it's like a dive bar where it's 3 people hanging out for 6 hours. Then you do bottle tricks.
Yeah, granted, I have never been to a flail bar. I think they exist, but I bet you that they're doing it, but most of the drinks are getting made by somebody who's just quickly like banging out cocktails and sliding them across the table.
Yeah, or like they'll do, like, I don't know, I've been to a bar, then the guy, he'll like, it's regular drinks, and then they'll make like a bunch of shots for everybody, and then they'll have a big fucking circus and pour out the shots. And
sure.
Stuff like that. It's like, okay, if it's a big event, or if...
Yeah,
there's every fucking
there
drink.
can be some performance to it, but...
Every drink.
Every drink.
Okay, Steve, let's break it down. What do you think this movie's theme is?
This movie's theme is, he's still trying to get rich at the end, so it's definitely not that money's bad. It's not an anti-capitalist movie, but it's an anti-fast track, I think. Coughlin specifically says, I tried to speed it up. I should have built something sustainable and learned to let love in.
Yeah, but...
And learn to grow. Because Coughlin's thing is he can't handle his new phase of life. When, like, I'm middle-aged, I can barely handle this. And as soon as he ages out of that, it's like, good night. I'm out.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I guess what is even the plan?
Yep, I mean, clearly there was none. Like, he's working in a TGI Fridays. Again, when Tom Cruise gets him into the bumping bar.
Oh, yeah.
When he meets, he is working in a busy dive bar, but still just a dive bar.
So would you say
and
this
he's
movie
still
is
giving waitresses crabs.
pro-capitalism or anti-capitalism?
No, it's still pro. It's a very, no one ever criticizes Tom Cruise for his goal is to get rich. And even at the end, he borrows a bunch of money and he's still going to start his franchise. He's starting Cocktails and Dreams.
But he does it like, he doesn't steal it from a woman. Right, he doesn't steal it from her family, and he rips up the check.
Yes,
So
it's
like trying to say
ostensibly, like all the
message is like
not
don't
gold.
take the money, but then the actual outcome of the movie is, well, sometimes you have to take the money from
Well, you
someone.
can still. Honestly, what are we trying to do here? Like, let's not pretend. I don't hold it against the movie for saying, hey, he's trying to become a successful business person so he can provide for his family. That's fine.
He doesn't want a family.
What?
From the start of the movie, he doesn't want a family.
He thinks he doesn't. That's another thing he learns. He learns he
doesn't.
does want a family.
You just have to meet the right girl.
You just have to get Elizabeth Shue pregnant, and suddenly you'll realize you do want kids.
Oh my god.
Even though when he has her, this is not a shallow thing. When he has her, he's like, I hope that you leave. I do not want to have a relationship. Even before he betrays her and she flies away in tears, he's still like, oh, no, I'm not in love. This is just a weekend thing. He doesn't go back to her because he feels bad. He goes back to her because his rich benefactor kicks him out, and he's a homeless person.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then he finds out she has a kid, and then he's like, I guess this could be love. Sure.
He's kind of a bastard the whole time.
Oh, yeah, he is bad. He is terrible.
Okay, if you had to rate this movie, what would you give it?
Okay, this is not, some movies, it's an interesting movie to rate, because some movies are just good movies.
Okay.
And this is not that. Other movies are good in some kind of ironic way. Like I would describe, we keep throwing to Roadhouse. Roadhouse is an excellent comparison because that movie is like a live action cartoon, but it is awesome. It is just awesome. This is not that. This is kind of like bad and not exactly ironic and not a different kind of good. It is maybe ironically good, as it is kind of an enjoyable watch. Like, I would give this a 7, as even though it's
7.
silly, at times you're laughing at how...
7.
You're like, what? Why is he not having any fun in Jamaica? He's in paradise. This is another good lesson, which I don't even know if the movie's doing on purpose, but maybe it is. Maybe I should give it more points. He is... When he's in Jamaica, he's talking to Elizabeth Shue about how he wants to get rich and how frustrated he is in his current life. As he is frustrated, he is hanging out, romancing a stunningly beautiful woman as he lives in paradise. And he's like, life is hard. I just can't seem to make it happen. And so that
this is what my take is why it's an anti-capitalist movie. Because the movie is like, no matter how, if you think like this, no matter how good your life is, all you'll be thinking is this. And there's no limit to this. So even if you have this, you're always be wanting more. So you got to be happy in paradise with Elizabeth Shue. Oh my God.
I'm going to be a little bit pedantic here. I'm going to describe capitalism as an economic system and not a value system. So I would say it's not really pro or anti-capitalism. But if you want to say materialist, you could say it's an anti-materialist movie, that you should be speaking spiritual satisfaction and not just trying to get rich girls and fancy cars and such.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But he's still trying to hustle at the end, but he's learned to hustle with his family and do things sustainably.
But it's like he starts his own business, you know what I mean? His uncle had a bar from the start, so it's like he could have just taken it over, you know?
But anyway, you know what I think the people want to hear for real? Why did we choose this movie? What about this movie speaks to us as human beings?
We had to start somewhere.
We had to start somewhere. And as I already told you, and he was clearly being somewhat ironic, but when Adriaan and I first became buddies, he said, I think the movie our relationship mirrors that of the film Cocktail. Now, let's start pulling that apart.
Okay.
Tom Cruise is young and has the looks and has the talent. Coughlin at one point had the looks and the talent. Probably he was the Tom Cruise at one point. But Coughlin is clearly out of his window.
Yeah.
He is just the mentor, and Tom Cruise is the flash in the pan. And Coughlin is evil, and Tom Cruise has a dark side and can be nudged towards it, but also has light within him. So that's the way in which it's different. It's clearly, I have the looks and the talent, and Adriaan is the evil one. Now, I'm not saying I am all good, but I have light within me.
I don't have light within me.
And I have talent. So that's how it's different.
I have no light in my soul.
Parts of both of those characters are in both of us, but in a different order.
Yeah. No, that's funny, yeah. We definitely would, I do be giving you advice on life.
You do
It
give
makes
me,
absolutely no sense.
You do give me life advice.
I'm always like, man, you're too old for this.
You have a series of laws. They're usually like Kriel's laws. Tell everyone Stephen is on Social Security and has been for some time.
Kriel's law. If people are worried about how old Steven is, they won't be worried about how far back his hairline starts.
Ironically, that much like Coughlin, our friendship is rooted in Adriaan aggressively trying to undermine me. However, Adrian's undermining actually helps me, as I like it's good that there's a series of rumors and legends, which perhaps you're one of the people who knows how old I am. Don't tell anybody. There are people legit don't. I had someone who I would say is one of my top 6 or 7 friends in the comedy scene was like, I don't know how old you are. Here's the number I hear the most. That can't be true. And the number he said, pretty high.
As you just heard, Adriaan tries to undermine me. However, he accidentally just embiggens me. It's better for me.
Is embiggen a word?
It's a perfectly cromulent word.
All right.
Now, it makes me strong, and it's good. His attempts to undermine actually help me, which I appreciate. And if you're generous, you could say maybe that's what he was aiming for all along.
You know, some people think that's what it is, that I'm an altruistic, evil person, but and that's the truth.
So those people
are right. Those people have always
You've got
been
like
right.
a hooker with a heart of gold type scenario.
Yeah.
You're like Coughlin if he ultimately cared about Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I'm like
that's
Coughlin,
what
but
I
I
mean.
wouldn't fuck his girlfriend.
You're the
You know what I mean?
Coughlin.
I don't want to be the Coughlin.
You're the
Coughlin's a bad guy.
Good Coughlin.
First and foremost, Tom Cruise is a good Coughlin.
That's also Tom
The
Cruise
same
is
guy
scumbag.
saved for one thing.
I actually like me and Adrian. I think we're both good people, and I think they're both bad people. Coughlin is the worst person. But as I'm watching this movie, because like I said already, my favorite thing about this movie is from Coughlin's first appearance, he looks exhausted. He is tired, he was up late, he isn't having fun anymore, but he doesn't know what else to do. But he knows if he gets drunk enough, it won't be as fun as it used to be, but it'll at least pull him into the game.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, I'm 6 deep, so that's something. I don't have to think too much anymore. And to be honest, I get that even when I go drinking still. Going drinking used to be just pure bliss. And now I still have a nice time, but you don't get that animalistic frenzy that you did when you were 23. And so, yeah, Coughlin, weather-beaten, tired, not sure, like clearly knows he needs a new phase of life, doesn't know what that new phase should be. A lot of this was hitting home. However, the one thing that made me say, Steve Z, you're not so bad, is if my protege, the man that I'm teaching everything he knows, started to experience some success and joy in life, I would say good. And I would take joy from it and also credit. I too would be like, he's my protege, I discovered him, I'm famous too, he is. And then someone would push me out of the screen and then I'd step back and be like, I'm sure I could benefit from this somehow. I wouldn't feel the need to ruin it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But isn't that more selfish?
yeah, but it's a better kind of selfish.
Oh yeah, true. It's a nicer selfish.
I want things to go good for. I'm more interested in having things go good for me rather than the idea of, I can only be happy if other people are frowning.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
That's it.
How old were you when you saw this movie for the first time?
I saw parts of it when I was a kid. I only saw it for in its entirety a couple years ago for the first time.
Damn.
But when I was a kid, I saw like the flailing scenes, which is why I was like, I guess that's what going to bars is like. They're always juggling bottles. And
Did
it
you
turns
learn
out
any tricks?
I can like spin a bottle.
Ooh.
I can't like juggle it, but
Alright.
do one quick spin. It's pretty easy.
Okay. We're gonna get you out to the bars.
But I will
The
say,
Sheilas.
Sheila's my mom's name.
Yeah, it is.
But
I knew that. She texted me this morning and told me to bring it up.
listen,
I'm just kidding.
classic
Your mom.
Classic Coughlin move. Except the key difference is you're joking. Coughlin would be like,
Coughlin would have fucked your mom.
oh yeah, I fucked your mom.
You're like, I fucked your mom. Where's my 50? You told me I couldn't do it.
You bet me that your parents would stay together, but I'm no reason they broke up.
But listen, at the end of the day, this is why you don't take a bet with a man who has nothing to lose and in all free time.
That is,
Because
I would actually say, beware of people with nothing to lose in general. And I'm going to throw to another movie, but you ever see Black Panther?
the Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've
Okay,
seen
so
Black
this has
Panther.
nothing to do with Black Panther or with Killmonger.
Killmonger.
But you remember the Claw,
Yeah.
the Andy Serkis's character? Andy Serkis is so underrated because he did the perfect job of walking on screen, and if you've ever met this guy, you immediately clock him as, oh no, I'm either going to have to give that guy everything he wants or fight him to death.
Yeah.
He just has that vibe. And if you've ever met that kind of dude, they are the worst. Because you're like, oh, you are perfectly happy destroying us both.
Yeah.
You are the scorpion stinging the frog going, whoa, LMAO, my nature, haha.
Going, sorry, just what I do.
Those dudes are out there. Do not engage them in bets. You will lose. They might lose also. That is the most you could hope for. It will not go your way.
Yeah. Never bet a guy that he can fuck your girlfriend.
Yes.
Because he might.
He might.
He fucking might.
Like, what are you hoping will happen?
Yeah.
And also, if your girlfriend finds out, she's not going to take it as a sign of faith and confidence.
No.
She's gonna be like, oh, cool, you think I'm an object of fun to be
Yeah, she's
toyed
like, oh, you earned me, huh? I didn't
Yeah.
choose you.
Yeah.
But also, like, don't fucking, if your girlfriend is talking to a guy, totally normal, totally fine. If your girlfriend's talking to an unemployed guy, get out of there. That motherfucker has too much time to be coming up with schemes.
I hadn't thought of that. That's a good point. Not because it says anything about her, just because you can't compete with an unemployed man.
No, you can't, bro. A guy, if he has 8 hours a day of just thinking about how to fuck your girl, he can figure some shit out.
Okay,
He can plant something.
That is mostly true, and I'll tell you how to do it if you want to plant things. I won't, because I'm trying to embrace the light. That's not the Coglin. But I will say, no, we're not going to talk about it.
No, come on.
Okay,
Come on.
The thing about her unemployed friend is don't be that unemployed friend either, because you don't just want to be some wiener in her orbit that she's using as like comfort food when her real man annoys her. That's as bad. You're her eunuch. It's fine to be friends. 5 of my 10 closest friends are women. It's fine to be friends with women, but don't be like just hanging out in their orbit thinking, oh, when she gets mad at him. No, because you've already established yourself as the eunuch. The Coglin types, they're unemployed. They're hatching schemes. They're not hanging out with her. They're hatching schemes. They're dropping poison pills into your relationship, starting fights that they know about, and then they'll have plans. Yeah, you gotta watch out for schemes. Charismatic people. Beware charismatic people. They are good at making you feel the way they want you to feel. And I say that as a charismatic person who is never consciously manipulating people, but I definitely, sometimes you can tell that you're like, I know that you're on the roller coaster. This conversation's on the rails, and you're just having a great time. And
This is Steve coming out as a male manipulator.
no, see, doesn't
Manipulate, mansplain.
Steve's doing his best not to. I'm just saying sometimes, and the same, she sort of, it happens in the movie when she's like, your grin, your big smile's not going to get you out of this. You gotta watch out for anybody with a big smile.
Yeah.
Watch out for anybody charismatic. Watch out for anybody with money. Really what you want is someone with no talent and no money who is ugly and unpleasant to be around. They'll love you.
Yeah. So, if any women, Steve's single.
Well, sometimes you close the door and sometimes you walk right into it. I am.
I would say there's something about someone who has to be charismatic, like a handsome person who's charismatic, or a beautiful girl who's like charming. You go, okay, this makes sense. People have always been nice to you your entire life. I get why you're this like flowy, like super positive person. But someone like Coglin, someone who like looks like trash,
Yes.
like looks like, you know what I mean? He has to stand out,
Some
and then he has to
people-
be extra confident.
He has a satanic smile. Like he
That's
comes
what it
on
is.
and you're like, oh, this guy seems evil.
That's exactly what
He
it
is.
is. He's got an evil aura.
And the thing that I've learned in life is that you go through this long, in some cases, in my case, like 20-year phase where you're like, oh no, don't judge a book by its cover, and all the things that the conservative culture of your youth told you were wrong. Then it's cool to, like, that guy, he just has a satanic smile. He's probably a sweetheart. I'm not saying that he's definitely as evil as he looks. You know, I'm not, jumping on board with phrenology here. But I will say that you might be. If somebody seems like they're evil, there's a reason why evolution's programmed you to go around people who seem like that. So just don't watch your step. Watch your step.
No, that's right. It's like the uncanny valley thing.
Make them prove that they're nice.
Yeah.
Trust your instincts is, I guess, what I'm saying.
That's why you should always test your friendships all the time to see what people will put up with, to see if they really like you or if they don't.
By making bets on whether or not they'll sleep with your girlfriend.
What if I offered you a bet, hey, but to sleep with a girl is like, that's a very movie type situation. Because I've been at a bar with a guy, he's like, dude, I'll bet you $50 I get that girl. And you go, okay. And he walks up to her and she like laughs in his face.
Yeah.
Or says, please go away.
Yeah.
That is way more likely than walking up to her and her being like, oh wow, like my boyfriend's not here.
Listen, it's very satisfying to watch those people fail, but this is my honest advice is don't get involved in bets involving humans. Because as Immanuel Kant taught us, humans are ends in of themselves. You shouldn't be using people as like playthings. They are the people. They're the.
But what if they really like being used as
Okay, well
plaything?
that's if they're into it. You know, let's say there's some hot young twink who enjoys.
Okay, let's say you were in this movie.
Okay.
Let's say you were Tom
I'm
Cruise.
gonna look up my notes, but keep
So
giving me
you were Tom
hypotheticals.
Cruise in this movie. What would you have done the same,
Yeah.
and what would you have done differently?
Oh,
For instance, when that lady comes, this is the big thing that I would have done totally differently.
Yeah.
This is why Tom Cruise gets Elizabeth Shue and I'm going to die alone.
Okay.
When the girl comes to his work at the bar,
Yeah.
and she's like, hey, can you call an ambulance or something? My friend passed out.
Yeah.
I would call an ambulance.
Yes.
I would not go, my military training has prepared me for this, and sprint the beach to find a girl. He doesn't do anything, by the way. He
Yep.
checks her pulse. He
Oh, yeah, he
says
doesn't do
alcohol poisoning.
nothing.
Get her some fucking water. She's
Yeah.
clearly dehydrated. She's fainted. She's got
Yes.
sunstroke. Get her out of the sun.
He walks in and very confidently starts spewing a bunch of nonsense. Just through sheer confidence, kind of calms the situation down. But
Yeah.
he doesn't do anything or know anything.
And also, this isn't relevant, but if you are suffering from dehydration, do not puke.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have enough water in your body, don't get the rest out. You know what I mean? Drink more water, eat some fluids, fucking pass that shit. But don't bottom the tank out.
Okay,
What are you doing?
That's good advice. But I don't know. I think I once saw one time a drunk in a bar attacked one of our friends, and Adriaan jumped right in and tackled the man out of his shoes. So he's got he can be a man of action.
Yeah, but that was not like, if someone came in and was like, hey, my friend just got tackled outside, I wouldn't be like, where is he? Like, I'd be like, let's get a cop going or something.
All right. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think the key to Tom Cruise getting Elizabeth's shoe was not being like, I'll go help your friend. It was, she would have come to the bar in order to drink anyway at some point.
Well, she clearly did. She was hammered.
Well, the friend, Elizabeth's shoe.
Now the friend's out of the picture. Shoes got to do the wait staff work.
Yeah, he was so charming when he put them both in the ambulance that she came back to see him. And then he continued to charm her.
Which is weird, because if you really see that, it is kind of a guy like lingering a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Like the girl's like, her friend's in dire straits. She's trying to focus on this, and he's like, hey baby.
Yeah.
So like ambulance doors are like crazy, aren't they? And she's like, all right, bye.
You Virgo? Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be.
Not for now.
Okay, so if you had to wrap a ball on it, you said 7 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say 6 out of 10, but like a good 6.
Okay, wait.
You know what I mean, a hearty 6.
Yeah, like it's a bad movie, but it's a pretty
Yeah.
engaging watch. However, I will say that if you're like, you know what, I don't enjoy bad movies in the 80s, this is my vibe, is this the one that's going to get me? There are movies I would recommend way before this one.
Yeah.
If this just makes you curious, then just look up cocktail bartending scene. That's really all you need out of this one.
This is one of those movies where like,
You know what, I might drop it down to 6.
you can like the movie, and that's fine. I like the movie, and I think there's nothing fine with it. But if you love this movie, if you take lessons away from this movie and you go, I'm gonna be Coughlin one day, or even I'm gonna be fucking Tom Cruise, that guy's a bad hang.
I would
It's like people
suggest
like Psycho.
100% of people who love this movie love it ironically. Like I literally, even at the time, like it was a huge hit at the time, made $100 million. But I think people enjoyed kind of laughing at it, being like, why would she go, have you seen this? You know what I mean? As opposed to being like, oh, what an engaging and enlivening film.
Maybe it's a better movie if you're drunk.
Oh, that does make sense.
Because a lot of the key aspects of this movie, like a lot of the themes or whatever, is played in the liquor. Like he starts with the beer, and then as he gets more into the life, it's all cocktails, and at the end at the wedding, they're drinking beer, like
Fancy.
shit like that. And I don't know, I like stuff like that, but it's like, how much cocaine was the writer of this movie on?
Significant. Okay, here's some of the notes that I took. Coughlin's problem was that he hated himself, and that led to him hating people around him, or possibly the other way around. In any case, he never learned to plant trees. You ever hear the expression, the society thrives when old men plant trees under whose shade they'll never sit?
Yes.
That guy wouldn't have even crossed his mind
Now, he was
to
burning
plant a
trees,
tree.
bro.
Yeah, he only burned trees. And he was like, if he saw someone else in the shade, he would be like, no, that guy can't have shade.
That guy's got nothing. I'm
Tom?
gonna rip his fucking tree out.
Tom Cruise always plays an orphan. Like, his parents never come up in this. He goes and visits his uncle.
Oh yeah.
Never calls mom, never calls dad, never mentions either of them as he's going through these incredible life issues. Clearly an orphan, and he often plays an orphan.
Yeah.
A lot of orphans
Holy
in
shit,
Tom
yeah.
Cruise's life. He's always
Well, it's like,
raising, like, the ghost of his father shows up, and like he's got a dead dad in Top Gun, in A Few Good Men, which I'd argue is the Pete Cruise.
Pete Cruise.
This, I'm pretty sure in The Firm, but I might be. But anyways, lots of his movies, he's always the ghost of dad. Or in All the Right Moves, his coach is his father figure, and that's like his dad who's fighting in the movie. I can't remember if he has a real dad in that one or not.
That's
but-
something.
So Tom Cruise is always an orphan. The key. Coughlin and I are very temporally close. He looked tired. Actually, I was going to say, remind me to bring this other thing up, but let's interrupt ourselves and bring this up now. So, a comedian, a human being, maybe blink that out, someone that Adriaan and I both know, recently ranked us both as attractive.
Oh yeah.
Sounds good so far, right? Put him at number 1 and me at number 2. Can you... I would like the audience to just think about that.
This is what you wanted me to remind me to say on the podcast.
It has to do with their dynamic. That made me feel a brief flash of Coughlin in me and like,
I gotta take it all away from
I
him.
must take away the joy in his life. It's not enough that I've had it good for so long. I've had it great. I've had a wonderful life, nothing to complain about. Wait, someone else is having a better life? Not even better than mine ever was. Just maybe better than mine is now. I've got to take it away. Crikey, mate.
Oh, buddy.
Let's put his life on a barbie.
Well, it makes you feel better. Beauty's only skin deep, you know. And on the inside, I am pure evil. So.
Yeah, you are the Coughlin.
I am the Coughlin.
Okay.
I like seeing other people happy.
I also
love
like seeing other people.
I was there at your retirement party 25 years ago.
Now I got my feet up, I'm taking it easy. I'm raising the future generation.
You got your 50-year chip of sobriety. You stopped drinking in your late 30s.
Every time you do something good, I feel a tinge of pride and also credit. Like, he would not have gotten there without me. So I want your life to go great.
I do feel that the same way about you. Every time you do something good, I go, he listened.
That's how a
Well
good
done.
mentor-mentee relationship, it goes both ways. Ideally, Obi-Wan learns from Anakin.
That's right. Maybe
Yeah.
he could have learned how to... wait.
A duck.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because he got sliced. I don't know. You know what's funny? Never watched Star Wars. We could do Star Wars. Every single Steven Seagal movie that's ever come out, I've seen. My dad's a huge Steven Seagal guy.
I would love to talk. Steven Seagal is a fascinating character.
We can do Steven Seagal next week. We can talk all about his Aikido. I've met him.
That's amazing. Do you guys know about Steven Seagal? We could just talk about Steven Seagal. We don't have to bring up his movies.
Yeah, we'll do
They're
it.
amazing, dude.
Steven Seagal's a crazy motherfucker.
Evil. Also evil.
Yeah. In terms of like actors who believe that they have become the roles, I think Steven Seagal thinks he knows how to be a ninja now.
Oh, yeah. Even if you watch Aikido demo, it's such a bullcrap martial art. I went to one Aikido class and I left. And because they wouldn't tell me why. They're like, every time you do a flip, the master twists your arm, you're supposed to roll over and slap the mat. You can't just get flipped over, you gotta slap the mat. And I said, why? And they said, don't ask why. And then I said, well, I'm coming back. And that was when I believed in Aikido. I thought it was so cool. Turns out I actually did bring up most of my notes, but there's one thing that I wrote down. It was like, how do I compare to Coughlin? And I put, this is grim, but I'm like, tired, you've done it all, gone as hard as any and harder than most, but you're starting to feel like butter scraped over too much bread.
Jesus Christ, are you writing a noir novel?
Yeah, that's out of Lord of the Rings. But then I'm like, how does Adriaan compare to Flanagan? Bright eyes, easily manipulated, lacks moral foundation.
Hey man, I'm a totally normal, cool guy. I'm fucking evil. I won't do anything for money.
I'm not saying you're evil. I don't think Adrian's evil.
You know what sucks? I won't do anything for money, but I will do almost anything if I think it's gonna be funny.
Yes.
And ooh, that rhymed. I should be a rapper.
That's not too late to get into rapping.
Believe it or not, I think it is for me. I think at a certain point in your life, you gotta know when a ship has sailed, and you gotta, if you want to be a white rapper, you gotta be young enough to have face tattoos.
That is, I once almost ended a friendship. I didn't end it. He was so mad at me. One of my friends just swore that all you needed to be a famous rapper was face tattoos. And I said, surely that's not all you need? Then anybody would do it. And he's like, no, you don't understand this was at the peak of Lil Peep.
Yeah.
So whatever, SoundCloud rapping.
R.I.P.
He's like, you don't understand
R.I.P.
SoundCloud rapping. It's all about the face tattoos. And I said, why don't you get a face tattoo? And anyway, he was furious. As apparently I can be condescending when I think I'm right. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if anyone else has noticed this.
Demon can be
I
condescending.
can be kind of self-important and a touch arrogant and dismissive when I think I'm right.
Wow.
So I apologize, Nate. You're the man.
I like that you named him. Who's the comic that said I was the hottest?
Don't worry about it.
Come on, boy or girl.
Don't worry about
That's a
it.
girl.
Could have been anybody.
I know who it is.
Could have been anybody.
And you're welcome.
Could have been anyone.
Who does Steven talk to about how hot he is? How did this even come up, by the
I
way?
talk about
Were
how
you
hot
just
I am. to a
hanging
lot
out
of
at the
people.
bar and you were like, who's fucking hotter?
I didn't
Me and my
actually
young
specify
friend
it was
over
a
there.
comic. It could have been an audience member.
You
Could
did
have
say comic.
I know. I was hoping that you forgot.
Brother, I'm like an elephant. But yeah, man.
I think we touched on most of the things that I wanted to talk about. What does this say about the lesson? The ultimate lesson, I think, is avoid dark people who treat
Hey,
you.
whoa,
Okay,
whoa.
I agree. Let me rephrase. Avoid people whose souls are tinged with, malevolence. Really, like even the way Tom Cruise is not nice because he talks about rich chicks. That's what lets her know that he's no good. Creates a bunch of problems with him. It's not just that people are like aggressively having sex with your girlfriend. Do they seem to treat people with regard? You know what? This has gotten too preachy. You guys aren't idiots. Maybe you are. Watch
I mean, you're watching this.
Watch
If I hear you get
Cocktail.
the
What do you
90-minute
don't want me
moment.
to be preaching at you.
Yeah, I think if we could take a positive lesson from this movie, it's that charisma really is the door to success. More so than pretty much anything else. If you got the gift of gab, you can chat your way into pretty much anything.
It's a dark, terrible success because you can become Coughlin where you kill it for probably 20 years and then you are compelled to move to another phase of life and you don't know what that phase is going to be.
Yeah, but I have to imagine he wasn't killing it and then he ended up at the TGI Fridays. Can you
No,
imagine he worked
it
at
was-
that TGI Fridays for 20 years? He was just the king of a
slow
tiny
fade.
pond.
Although Coughlin's problems go much deeper than he's just aging because he makes a best friend and a rich wife and he's still not happy. Coughlin hates himself.
You know what he needs to do? Meditate.
You know what? That's it. Coughlin hates
About the
himself,
Lord.
which compelled him to hate the people around him, which prevented his happiness. So,
If you could give
Learn-
Coughlin any advice on how to get his life together,
I've learned to love yourself and find Jesus.
how do you learn to love yourself?
I don't know.
You just choose? You just wake up one day and you go, no, actually, I'm cool.
I think that's part of it.
Really?
It's probably a journey.
Ugh.
I think that, I will say this, I think that my generation, maybe yours too, I don't know, but definitely mine, self-loathing was seen as very cool. It was aggrandized. Like that was a big part of the culture in the
The
90s.
grunge nation.
I was all about.
I'm so cool, I fucking hate myself.
Exactly. I could quote lyrics at you, but
Hold me now, I'm 6 feet
That's
off,
exactly-
and I'm singing.
glad you read my mind. That is what I was thinking. I was thinking about Creed. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I think that you do at some point have to decide. I'm not saying you do it overnight, but the same thing with like how do you decide to make peace with like anybody? You make a decision and then you start taking steps towards that, and it's a series of small steps, and then the next thing you know, you like yourself a little bit more.
Okay, hell yeah.
Which actually did happen to me.
Aw.
I do like myself more now than I used to, and see how grounded and secure I am.
Well, someone has to.
The way fuck.
I
I was about to say something nice about you. No, I wasn't. I was about to take a shot at you, and you got there half a second before me.
Yes, sir. And that's the game, kids.
Ah.
And that's why Flanagan will always cook the Coglins of this world.
All right. Well, this has been.
Hey, what are we gonna do next week?
Hey, vote. We've mentioned several. Put in the comments if you listened to this. If you thought this is our first one. If you thought it was any good. If you liked any of the titles. If there's any parts of this you think we should lean into in the future. And
Yeah, just give us notes, honestly.
yeah, give
what
us
you
notes.
like, what you didn't like,
Yeah, and we'll make it more like that.
or less.
And then we'll get famous, and you can be Coughlin to our Flanagan, and it'll be good for you.